Hello everybody, good morning. Today is a day like any other day. We're gonna be putting a motorcycle together. Actually, I'm gonna be finishing off the old, I don't know, got a really name for this thing. Matt's calling it an Evil Knievel bike. I'm calling it a Knievel Evil. Knievel? I was gonna try and put the two words together, but it just comes out to Knievel. If you put evil and Knievel together, it's Knievel. So I mean, that doesn't make an ounce of sense. But anyways, I originally made the mounts with Drag Specialties blinker mounts, these guys right here. And I did this in, 2013, so they're a little shot. And they were spray painted black, apparently, because they were chrome. But I got actual black ones, real nice, new hardware. Get this thing mounted permanently. And then I got to file the paint out of all these holes. Fit the windshield, which one problem is we got a new windshield for it. And to get this thing fitted on this front end, I heat gunned this whole thing back in the day with a heat gun and reshaped it and reshaped the windshield. So I might run into some real serious dilemmas with the windshield. I'm gonna get this guy done today, hopefully, and then we can take it outside and we can kind of go over it, give her a little spec breakdown on everything on the bike. I know you guys haven't got to see the build of this bike. Really, it's been kind of going on in the background. Now that it's almost done, when it is done, we'll take it outside and I'll give you guys a nice walk around. I'd like to see this paint out in the sun too. It's probably gonna be pretty beautiful. And I'll take it for a little test ride and all that good stuff. And then we're gonna move on to something else. Actually, what I'm gonna move on to work on later today, I can't show you guys yet until July 11th. So I'm working on secret things. It's kind of tough right now because we're filming all this stuff. We've been filming a lot of episodes that aren't going on our YouTube right now. So a lot of our film and building time is being sucked up into stuff that we can't post on our YouTube. So creating content for YouTube right now in the minimal amount of spare time that we don't even have is very, very challenging. So thank you guys very much for sticking with us, because somehow June has put out some really dope shit recently with very little to work with, because all of our time is in that project over there that you guys can't see yet for something that you can't know about yet and something that's coming. That being said, I'm going to get these dudes all set up, mount it on the bike, get it dialed in, and I'm not even gonna mess with the windshield until I have the fairing fixed, mounted exactly where I want it to go. It is a pain in the ass to mount, that is for sure. I have to put these guys on the fairing and get the fairing on the bike, and then somehow get a filed down Allen key and go for 30 minutes. It's great. Other than that, we got a lot of new stuff going on. June 8th, this weekend, this Saturday, right? This Saturday, we'll be at Wild Horse Pass riding stunt shows at Sling and Smoke Summer Bash with Modded Culture. It's gonna be super, super sick. I'm gonna be driving the old Corvette out there, hopefully. I gotta retune it somehow. I have to learn how to tune a car this week and retune it because she's running way too lean and the dyno guy is out of town till after the event. So gotta make something happen there, and that will be just a load of fun.
What's Trent doing for us?
Trent is over there putting an FDF Mega Mantis angle kit in his car for this weekend. So he is basically doing a full drift car build right now, getting ready for an event that is in days. That's kind of how we do it. Bought a new diff, bought a rear diff out of a automatic BMW because they have a much lower gear ratio. And I welded her all up and all that good stuff. And we went to put it in, and she don't work because it's out of a 325 and you need a 330 diff. So we had to take it back out. And he's got another one on the way. So it's been a little bit of a, fiasco here and there. Neither here nor there, or there and back again. It's a hobbit's tale, basically, is what's going on here. There's these dudes. I mean, I guess I could give you guys a preview. We've been doing car stuff on the YouTube channel, and it does okay. It does about 50% traffic, I would say, view-wise, as compared to the motorcycle stuff. which in comparison to what kind of views we get is pretty good. It's still getting good views, but it's not as good. And the way that YouTube works, if you have a video that does half as well as the last one, your next video is going to do half as well as that one, because YouTube will kind of slow down your search engine or whatever the hell it is that they do. So we are going to probably start another YouTube channel, because we do this for, this is, did you hear that? That was a little son of a bitch falling on the floor there. Cars are like our hobby. This is our job. So, you know, when you make your hobby your full-time job, you gotta have something else. I gotta have another avenue of something besides motorcycles all the time. I love motorcycles. I always love Harley Davidsons. This is my life. This is who I am as a person. This is what I identify as a Harley Davidson. We'll always do this. This channel will stay pure Harley, but we're gonna start another channel. We don't really have a name for it yet. We're kind of thinking of calling it Outside the Shop, and it's gonna be everything that we do outside of the shop, with like the drifting, the cars. I'm also trying to buy something at auction this week that we want to build some new shit and get into kind of another avenue. And this is just going to be probably 1 or 2 videos a month. It will just become more of a lifestyle channel of what me and Trent do outside of this, because we do a lot of rad shit in the motorcycle world, but we're pretty active dudes when it comes to shredding all together. So we do a lot of cool stuff outside of motorcycles that we kind of want to get in and keep showing you guys, and it's just fun for us to make those videos. If you guys want to comment down below if you've got some ideas, or maybe what you think we should call it, or if we should even do it, or if we're full of shit or whatever, but kind of let us know your opinion. I know you guys are here for the motorcycles, so we'll keep the motorcycle channel for motorcycles, and then maybe we do another channel that's just for me and Trent to have fun with. We like having fun. And once you kind of get in the old YouTube world and you start doing stuff, yes, with YouTube, and start doing all this cool shit, and people like seeing all the cool shit that we do, it's hard to go do cool shit and not show it to you guys. I feel like now, when we go out and we do some dope shit or something, or go out and hit some off-road race, or we go drift event, or we just go hike some crazy shit that we go to all the time, I feel like I'm cheating you guys out of seeing some of the cool shit that we do. So now maybe it's an addiction or a problem with becoming a YouTuber. You feel like you got to show everybody everything that you do, but I mean, it's enjoyable. And if I can show you guys some rad shit and get you motivated to get out and do some rad shit and get off the couch, then I feel like I've won. I'm all about winning. I want to start competing in some shit. I don't know what, but I love competition. I know a lot of people don't. Like when I did CrossFit, everybody's like, I just don't like the competition side of it. I'm like, that's what I do like about it. I want to be on the leaderboard. I love to compete against people. If I got some kind of anything, I don't give a shit what it is. I will compete. And I want to find something I can compete in. Drifting is something I can compete in. I'm too old and beat up to be competing in stunt riding against the kids and the level that the shit is at now. So I'm not going to. I can't hang with these kids today, but put me in a car, I don't think they can hang with me. So there's one aspect, something I can do, and something else, I don't know. You guys got any ideas? What could I get into at 45, competition-wise? I was training to do some trail running, then I broke my ankle trail running, so that was the end of that. Law Tigers, pause. Sorry to interrupt this program, but we got a motorcycle sitting right here for one reason and one reason only. For every $5 you spend on cruiseoriginals.com, enters you in a chance to win this bad boy right here. Right now, I am filing out the holes. If you come in close, see how small these holes are? They should be much, much bigger than this big one right here. They're completely full of paint. Well, they should be much bigger than this. They should be 5/16 and they're like under a quarter right now. So you gotta get them with the small file, and then come in with the big guy and get all the Bondo and the filler out of them. If you go push, spin, I spin it with my fingers, and turn, it'll naturally roll it into the curve. Keep you a nice circle going. Fun fact, I've had this file, this is a chainsaw file. I've had this since I was about 23, 22. When I worked in a sawmill, this was my chainsaw file. Still got it. I still have all my chainsaw files actually. And yes, I can file a chainsaw. What is a chainsaw?
No. What part of a chainsaw do you file?
The chain.
To like
Sharpen
it
it.
out?
No, sharpen it. Yeah, you gotta sharpen the teeth on it. the cutty part.
Guess what?
The part that does the cutting.
It didn't occur to me that people filed them into a sharp. I thought you just replaced them when they got dull.
What I was just telling June is I often forget that not everyone was born and raised in Sweet Home, Oregon in the old logging world. So maybe not everybody even knows what a chainsaw is. I keep one underneath the back seat of my truck. You never know when you need a chainsaw. If you need to make something go away real fast, what? Chainsaw. Chainsaw and a shovel. Those are things you should always keep, and leather gloves. But yeah, not everybody probably knows what filing a chainsaw is. How many of y'all out there watching know how to file a chainsaw, or even know that you file a chainsaw, or know what you file on a chainsaw? Anybody know shit about a chainsaw? I have a still. If you're gonna have a chainsaw, you're gonna have a still. Now, there might be some Husqvarna guys out there arguing, oh, I have a Husqvarna. Well, eat shit. Still's where it's at. I was born with a silver still in my mouth. When you're in the old lumber industry, you're either a Husqvarna guy or a still guy. It's like riding a Kawasaki or a Honda. Still is the best. I got a little guy, I think it's an 023.
So, what do you go in between the teeth of the chainsaw and sharpen it with that little guy?
You sharpen the teeth themselves. They stick up about this far and they got like a cup on them like this. And this guy fits in the cup. Sharpens them. And then there's little runners too that are in front of it, and you gotta take those down too to match. I got my first chainsaw when I was 5. It was a McCulloch Eager Beaver. Little one. I was running a chainsaw when I was way too small and way too young to be running a chainsaw. But my father was a logger. His father before him was a logger. And his father before him was a logger. And I was a logger for a short period of time, and I went, yeah, this town, I'm out of here. Because, man, there ain't nothing like working yourself to death in the old death march up and down the mountain in the snow for $10 an hour. Any loggers out there? What are loggers getting paid these days? Because back where I'm from, it was shit. It was shit pay because there was 30 dudes waiting in line for your job. Probably not that many dudes wanting to log anymore. The pay might have went up a bit. I don't think people even log in Oregon, or are they too busy dyeing their hair purple and complaining about everything? Yeah, I'm just going to be filing now for a minute and complaining about hippies, so. I hate hippies! I do! You tell them I said that. We got holes for days. I can shove it in any one of these holes right now. Every one of them feels pretty good. Would you look at this? Didn't paint the top of this. That sucks. This is all I have. All I have left is bolt this back together. Top of the fairing's not painted though. Well, this was not done by our painter, so I have no responsibilities here, except for the fact that I was coerced into putting this bike together when I said, I do not have time to put this bike together. I do not want to put this bike together, but here I am putting this bike together. So, I'm making the best of it, but is it the best? No, but it's the best of it. But she is a beautiful bike. Oh, she's tight like a tiger too. You know, man, let me take a look all around here. Sometimes you just gotta step out and get a good look at everything. I'm kind of not stoked on the way the headlight sits, but I don't want to reshape the whole goddamn thing right now. What trim do I have? Not enough. Yep, sometimes you just gotta take it apart again. Well, the window's not going on yet. I was wrong. I was wrong. Self-destruction has got me again. I was wrong. Who is it? Good job. Good job, Jen. Well, I'm gonna take this dude off. I'm gonna raise the fairing a little bit, and I'm gonna try and get this to tuck in. I don't think it will. It used to tuck in, but she's pretty thick with the old paint these days, so she doesn't quite fit the same as she once did. So I'm kind of making her work and look the best as possible with what I'm working with. It's kind of like squeezing it at the base to get a little more girth out of it. That's what we're trying to do here. This is a big old base squeeze. All right, that guy's off. I'm gonna slide these dudes up just a hair. I do not have much adjustment room here at all, but we're gonna make as much adjustment as we can. These front ones I'm basically just getting snug, and then all the tightening's gonna go down the back side, because the back side I can actually get to with the ratchet. You pop in there, bud? And that's not too bad. All right, I'm gonna suck that dude. See, doesn't that look nicer? I just gotta deal with this though. So I gotta figure out how to make that nice. This is a little hack job right here. I'm gonna bring this dude in. Oh, that's not where I want you to go, bud. Come on there, Ray. You gotta speak Canadian to it. Really get it to move around how you want it to. Learn that from the boys at Archetype Manufacturing. Just when you're really talking to some parts and you want them to move right, you gotta fucking, come on, There we go. There we go. Come on now. Okay, you stay put. That'll hold me tight for a moment's time. We look straight. No, we don't. Well, the great part about this fairing, This was about the cheapest fairing you could get on the market at the time. So the rigidity and the quality of it, it's pretty much, it's none. It's basically none. So it doesn't really hold together very well, which they tend to crack and do things like that, especially when you get her in a little bit of a bind like so. Sometimes I really wish I had smaller fingers. I did not pick these window screws, not a fan. Matt brought me these. I think they stick up just a little too far, but I'm not gonna put metal screws of any kind into this fairing. You need plastic, just so you don't attack the paint in any way. Everything's going in loosely. Every time you do something on a Harley like this, or you install any part, you never just put this in and tighten this bolt down and expect anything else to line up. Everything goes in loose. You don't tighten shit until everything's in. Pretty much goes for everything on a Harley. It is also common sense, but we do have to explain that quite often. When you put on an engine guard, you don't go tightening the bottom bolts down and expect the top ones to go on. You gotta do her all at the same time. Also had a really nice meeting today, and we have an opportunity to buy a building, which we really need a building if anyone's ever come and seen how small our shop is in real life. It's really tiny. We need about double what we have, but it's very, very, very expensive in Arizona. But we have an opportunity to buy a building, really what we want, for a not affordable price, but a price that's reasonable for today's standards. I need about $250,000 cash that I don't have. So I got a lot of shit for sale. If anybody's in the market for buying any of Ryan's good used shit, everything I own is for sale at the moment right now, at probably a good fire sale price. If anybody wants to come with real offers for my pre-runner or any of my motorcycles, they are for sale. Because this, that's a lot of money I got to come up with. I don't have $250,000 worth of assets to sell, but I probably got $120,000 worth of assets I could sell, and I really need to sell them. So if you guys are looking for some really, really cool, gnarly shit, I've got lots of cool, good used shit for sale. Everything's for sale. I need a building. I'm only going to finger tighten these because I really don't want to fuck with this plastic that much. I want to be really gentle. I'm a Gentile. It's very Gentile. So I just do a little bit here, a little bit there. It's really a feel thing, that's for sure. I'm going to call that good and not push my luck. I'm done. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, ring that bell, cruiseoriginals.com. I'm just kidding. I am done. I'm gonna pull it outside. I gotta warm it up, check the oil, because we changed all the fluids and all that good shit. Actually, Matt did it himself, so I'm gonna double check everything. Look at how nice that fitment is right there in that fairing. That is a damn good look. Narrow glide on a mid glide, cut in and fit properly. Is a really good looking fairing. I like it. And I'm not keen on how much these stick out, but they do match the mounting hardware, so it does all match in a nice uniform kind of way. I really wish that this line was painted all the way up through there, but that is also out of my hands at this point in time. So here she is. She's done. Pretty goddamn fly. Probably one of the prettiest bikes we've built in a long time. I really, really like how it's flashy, but it's not. You know, she's kind of elegant. I would say she's classy. She's a classy old broad. She's kind of like the 50-year-old chick at the dive bar with a cigarette in her mouth, but her hair's still done up really nice and her clothes are clean and she's looking good. She's been drinking pretty hard for about 20 years. She'd probably be an easy target, but she still takes good care of herself. You know, it's a real good time. Probably named Dolores. I'd say this is a nice Dolores right here. This is a real goddamn good looking Dolores. Don't you think, June?
50's not that old.
50's right around the corner from me. But 50, if you've spent 20 years in a bar, is fucking, it's different kind of 50 than the 50 we're looking at.
All right.
We're looking at the youthful, still full of vigor and life 50. And then you've got the old drunk 50 that's chapped lips all around. I'm gonna pull this thing down, clean her off a little bit. We'll take it outside and look at it in the sun. What do you guys think? You wanna see it out in the sun? I'd like to see it in the sun. I think it should be beautiful. I'm gonna put a little Protect-All on the seat, make her look real glossy. I think that's all I got to cover until we get outside. Funky clunking going on when I roll it around. We only did the paint section of the assembly on this bike, basically. The front end and the powder coated stuff was done by someone else. And it's making some kind of shitty noises right now, so we're gonna do a little investigation. It feels like it's coming from the front wheel when I roll it around, but it sounds like it's coming from the primary. It sounds like a chain smacking on something, which is very well what it could be. All right, jack me up in the back. Front feels good. Fender's a little crooked. This thing's been in some accidents. Last one tacoed the front end pretty good. That's why I got the Pro 1 tubes on there now. Chain's got a tight spot there. Roll that guy around for me for a second.
Chain's not moving at all, like it's rubbing on anything, you know? I can feel it on the peg. Oh, it's the kickstand, dude.
It's hitting the kickstand?
Yeah,
Oh, it is.
Just was rubbing on the kickstand.
Goddamn 1 incher right there. Is there no stop on the
There
kickstand?
is, you just gotta move it. Rotate it down.
Oh, it's on the frame up.
Yeah.
Yeah! I gotta move the old kickstand stopper. They're fun.
Be careful with that car there.
How dare you? That's a 2003 fucking BMW. Highs, lows. She ain't got no horn. Does she run? There's no gas in it. Son of a bitch. I gotta get gas. Well, I forgot that there's no gas in that freshly painted tank. And we don't have any gas here, so. Slow down there, bud. I gotta go get some fuel. But man, look at that thing. That's a beautiful motorcycle. That's a damn nice bike. All right, well, here we are. It's a very disappointing end to a very climactic video. But we brought it out here to start it up. Didn't have gas in it, so we put gas in it, and she don't run. Won't start at all, won't even try to fire, so I compression tested it. It's making about 150 PSI compression, which is good enough to run. Ain't real great, she could be a little on the tired side. It has spark, check the spark, check the fuel pressure, is making 0 PSI fuel pressure. The fuel pump is firing, it is priming, it is coming up to pressured enough to shut off, but something inside the tank is happening, which this thing sat apart on a shelf for over a year. The fuel pump probably dried out and has probably gone to shit. It probably needs a new fuel pump, which means tearing the whole tank apart and the fuel system out of it again, which I'm not doing today because it's the end of the day and I got other stuff to do that's actually more important. So tomorrow morning, Trent's probably gonna tear that apart, look inside there and see what's going on. This bike is really not a project that we should even be working on right now. It's really taking up time from the other stuff that we really need to be doing, so I'm not gonna invest any more time into it. But she looks nice, she's done enough. Trent can deal with that shit tomorrow and see what's going on, but most likely they're probably gonna have to get a fuel pump for it. That's just the trials and tribulations of putting together shit that sat for, I mean, we tore this thing apart to get painted probably almost 2 years ago. It's been a long time that this sat, and that really just is a huge pain in the ass when you're working on Harleys because the stuff just dries out and rots and it's done. So she needs a pump. She needs something in there. We got to get in there and figure it out. But those are, trials and tribulations for another day. So on that note, I'm out. I got to go build some fenders. Pretty stoked about that at the end of the day. This went a lot longer than I wanted it to. KruesiOriginals.com. Remember, every $5 you spend on there enters you in a chance to win a custom motorcycle built by us. Right now, we're giving away an 05 Dyna Super Glide, fuel injected, 27,000 miles on it, and a whole bunch of fancy parts. You can see all the videos of that thing being built in our vlogs and whatnot. And for the members only out there, you get early access to all of our videos and some other special perks. And thank you guys for watching. Stay posted. We got a lot of big things coming. Peace.
Peace. On today's installment of Tinkering with Trent, I fixed Matt's bike. Here it is. It's fixed. So in order to fix this motorcycle here, I had to put a new fuel pump in it. Apparently the old pump just wasn't pushing enough fuel, like it was priming, but I guess it wasn't priming enough. So called Harley, got a fuel pump assembly, put that in, and she fired right up. Also, this thing is decked out with Kruesi Originals parts, as you can see. Our K-bar, our shock sliders, our foot pegs, front and rear. They work as passenger pegs also. Come around this side, he's got the slider derby cover to protect his primary because those are becoming obsolete. And the elite levers he also got from here. And can't forget the tuck and roll gripper Kruesi Originals special Saddleman seat there. Our subframe with the Scrape City tie plate and our laydown license plate. All of which you can find on www.kruesioriginals.com. $5 enters you in a chance to win a motorcycle. Go down there and buy something.